Good morning. The visualizer isn't working this morning. The system with Zoom to go live isn't working, so I'm going to go ahead on my phone. So thanks for joining. It is a little bit more challenging using the phone because it's a bit fiddly to show you what I'm doing. Today we have the welcome everybody. Today we have, it's called Kite in a Square. This is what the resource looks like. And this is, you can download this. There are links in the announcement post up top. The very first link is a link to this. And this is aimed, this actual activity is aimed at upper secondary or upper high school. Well, there are activities that will cover primary and lower secondary as well. And then at 10 o'clock in an hour's time, I'll do a live, hi Jan, I'll do a live for, hi Claire, I'll do a live for the teeny tots, for the little people. Hi Eddie, people all over the world. I still don't know where you are or what you're doing, Eddie. So please tell me. So yes, so I'm going to get started. So what you need for today is not too much. You basically need a ruler and a piece of paper. Now we're going, as I say, we're doing this at several levels. If you're in upper secondary, this activity is going to be of interest to you, which will help you understand lots of things. And for younger level people, it will prepare you. It'll prepare you to be able to understand the activity when it's your turn to do it in higher up school. So it's the idea is that it'll make it interesting, engaging, and it'll make it so that when you do it, it will make sense to you. Whenever it makes sense to you, that is when you can enjoy it. You can really enjoy doing activities when they make sense to you. You can look forward to them. I was talking to an 8-year-old yesterday and talking to her about she knew this, but I was just making sure that she understood that actually she didn't know this. Sorry, the story I was telling her was about mathematicians, the ones who've gone to university and studied maths, and they live, work and teach maths at higher levels. And did you know that for those mathematicians, the only time that, well, not the only time, but the time when they are truly interested and truly engaged is when they are doing problems that they don't know how to solve. That's when it's interesting. Is I don't know how to do that. Oh, right, let's get stuck in and find out how to solve it. Now, for those of us, well, that includes me, by the way, very much so, at a learning level, my level of learning is, I did a degree in electronic engineering, which means that I did have to do a lot of maths for that, but I've also forgotten a lot of what I did. So I'm constantly learning and constantly relearning things that I perhaps once knew, or even that I perhaps once never really understood. So when you get to a problem and you don't know how to do it, that means that you are in learning mode. And that is when a mathematician would get excited. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Now I'm excited. Now I'm going to do something I don't know how to do. What they find boring is doing the same thing again and again with things they know how to do. And it's just, oh yeah, well, I can do that because I know how to do it. That for them is boring. They want to do things they haven't done yet. So I'm just saying that so that if you find this challenging in any way, that's a good thing. It means you're learning something new. And then that opens you up for that goosebump moment where you get all goosebumpy and you get all excited. Hi, Steve. Get excited because after struggling through it, when you come out the other end and you get the aha moment, or even a series of aha moments throughout, that's the excitement. That's and yet there is actually a chemical reaction in your body that gives you like a rush of happy chemicals that And so there is a reward. There is actually a reward for persevering and getting it. This is not a hugely complicated one, but it does need thinking. And there are lots of surprises and lots of revelations. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to start you off. And then I'm going to talk about the different levels that you can do. Oh, now see, everything's all set up for the visualizer and it didn't work. So now it's a little bit awkward. I've got to put my lovely, I call him my tripod man. He's a tripod. He's got arms for lighting, which I'm not currently using, but I use them for all kinds of things. So fortunately, there's no writing on this one because this doesn't reverse. So unless there's one of those buttons that reverses it. I wonder if one of these buttons reverses it. Special effects. Ooh. Oh, sorry, I've got to do this now. I've pressed special effects, so we've got to do this now. Oh, no, not that, but yeah, that's the one. Maybe I'll leave those on. Leave the love hearts on. Okay, the love happy people. Right, so let me just see if you can see what I can see. If I move that further back. The visualizer goes from further up and it's basically intended for that purpose, so it helps using it. But there we go. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to draw a square, and I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I've got a square on this piece of paper. So this square is, you can, by the way, print this out if you want, but kind of like the idea of being able to draw a square. 21 is more or less, I think it's 20.9 or something, but we're going to go over 21. 21, can you see all the way down? No, you can't. There we go. 21 there, 21 across there, and join those two lines. You have to do draftsmanship when you're doing electronic engineering. Well, I did electrical and electronics. I didn't build metal boxes. A lot of people do it in school. So if you haven't done draftsmanship, that's the sort of thing you want to do. Precision is really important. And now we've got the shape. We're going to do 2 diagonals. Oh, I'm going to just mark halfway across here as well. I think that will actually enable me to do the whole thing. Halfway across, so half 21 is 10.5. So now we're going to go right across here. Make sure you go right into the corners. Right across there. Right, make sure it's nice and precise. You go right into the, I call them the corners, they're the vertices. It's really important to get right into those vertices so it's nice and accurate. And now we're going to take this midpoint of the square and we're going to join it to the bottom right vertex, and then this and the same midpoint to the bottom left vertex. Right, we are now ready. So that is one way of doing it. And then the other thing you can do is draw yourself some dots, 5 by 5 dots on dotty paper, and then you can use that method as well. Okay, so by using the dots, it will help you. Yeah, what am I saying? Start again. What am I saying? If you draw this square on dotty paper, then it will help you identify a lot more about it. I've drawn it on here because I wanted you to see how to do it on here. But doing it on dotty paper, we'll do it on both, and then start making your discoveries. Now, I'm gonna actually start low and work up. So for primary, it's all in this resource. It's the home learning resource. So the new version of the home learning resources has actually got something for home learning, something for upper primary or lower primary, depending what the device. This one doesn't really look at lower primary, although I am. So basically, the young children one goes up to the top of lower primary. Then upper primary is a section, and then there's lower secondary, and then this activity the rest of it is aimed at upper secondary. So, and then at the and then years 11, 12 and 13, so basically up to school leaving, there's a nice activity here. So I'm not going to go in, this resource and all this, lots of stuff behind it, is aimed at helping with the upper secondary. I'm going to cover it in a basic way for primary and secondary, and then leave it up to you. So, because it's all about discovery, that is the key to powerful learning. It's about discovery. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Machachi. It's a beautiful name, my goodness. And I can't see I need to get rid of this. It was fun for a moment, but I can't see your messages. There we go. Oh, hi, Kate. So I'm doing activities for primary now. That's the next thing I'm doing. So I don't know if that's Kate or Bryony that's watching. Okay, now, so for young children, yes. So on page 2, this one, you basically talk about the shapes you can see. So to get this and make that shape, and it doesn't have to be on dotty paper. That was one of the reasons why I did this. So you can make this shape not on dotty paper and on dotty paper, and you can make the dots yourself. And then just compare what's the same, what's different, what shapes can you see, what shapes can you make with other shapes, and what other lines can you draw, and then do some art. Make tiles, make a tile design and draw other. Thank you, Tony. And just basically have fun with those shapes, draw the shapes and have fun with it. Look at the symmetry for the lower primary and the early years, and draw and observe and talk, converse, what shapes, how many sides, how many edges, what are their names. This one, by the way, is a kite. This one there, if you were wondering at home, it is a kite there. It's all quadrilateral, but it's a kite, and it's got symmetry. It does have symmetry, and the rest are, well, I'll let you talk about the rest. I'm sure you can manage that one just fine. Now, upper primary, you really want to be looking at the dotted grid, and I thought I had a geoboard, but I don't have a geoboard. So later today, I'm actually going to be making a geoboard, and so I will do a video of that, and I will just review. There will be literally just a video on its own. I may as well. I'll do it live. Why not? I'll do it either this morning or this afternoon. I'll do a live of making a geoboard, and then if you watch out for that, then you can see how to do this on a geoboard. You just use elastic bands to do that on a geoboard. And then it's all about looking for the symmetries and really exploring what shapes there are, what types of symmetries. Now we're in upper primary, we're looking for what types of symmetries. And then in lower secondary, I've lost my sheet, here we go. Lower secondary, so you want to be looking at the areas. In lower secondary, looking for the area, we want to know the area of the kite. That's what we're looking for. So looking for clues. We know what these angles are. We're looking for different clues using the symmetry by adding lines where necessary. We're looking for the area of the kite once you're in year 9 and above. And so 9 and 10, you really want to be, we want that area of the kite, and we want it looking at, we can, I'm just going to show you this, we can add letters to the, I know it's reversed, but if you see the point, you can add letters in so that you can get a really good feel for, and you see that vertical line there? I'm saying nothing, but it might be helpful. So, and then in upper secondary, one thing with anybody in secondary or even upper secondary can work with people in younger years. So this is something you can do as a family. It's something you can do working together, each one of you learning at a different level. And the older, higher attaining learners can help the younger learners. Now, the key with that helping is to not do it for them. I call it, don't be a doofer. It's not to do it for them. It's not to give them the answers. It's not to say, look, this is what you need to know. What they need to know is just enough to set them off, and so what I've done here, I've just drawn the picture. Now you can help the younger learners to actually draw that picture. If they can draw it themselves, they will have so much better feel for it. And if they get it wrong and it's a bit skew-if, they perfect. Right, you've learnt how important it is to get that point in the middle there and get these points right in the vertices there, and then do it again until it comes out just right. That's huge. And then if they're young, really young, much younger learners, you don't have to worry about it. Whatever they do, they're going to be learning from, as long as they can recognise the triangles and they can call that a kite, and they can see what other shapes they can make. So the point with the older learners is the activities for the upper secondary are on this sheet. You don't even have to download it, just look at it. The links are in the announcement above, and they'll be in the comments below. If you're helping others, if using the principles see one, do one, teach one. I'm not so keen on the word teach though. I like the word facilitate. So you're facilitating their learning. You're helping them learn. It's not so much about, it's not show and tell. It's not do and tell. It's not tell and repeat. It is give them the tools so that they can learn it for themselves. Hi Danny, we're going to do, I've just got to review this super quick. We're going to do a shape like this, but we're going to do it at 10 in 45 minutes time. And I'll be doing it in such a way that you can follow along. So paper, rulers, and I'm also going to make a geoboard, possibly between now and then, so that you can, maybe you guys can get together and make yourselves a board with nails, so that you can, and elastic bands, and doing it that way. So we'll be doing that at 10 in 45 minutes. So Danny has a 5-year-old, so we're going to do something especially for him and children like him. So yes, so the and this goes for Danny, it goes for the grown-ups. When you're facilitating this, you're not doing it for them, you're asking questions. And not only that, the questions are on these sheets, these activities for home learning. I'm saying that with confidence. I don't actually see specific questions on this sheet. So, oh, here, yes, you can't read them there, but they're on there. The key questions are, for example, which angles are the same? Well, that will be upper primary and up, because word angle doesn't come in lower. But which triangles, this language is very specific. Which angles are the same, which triangles are similar, so you have to know what similar means, which triangles are congruent. You can look that up, make sure you know what the word similar means, what the word congruent means. Can you find different lengths? What's maybe this length and what's this length? Oh, this, by the way, I didn't point that out. This is a square of area unit 1. So 1 unit squared. So let's say your dimension on every edge is 1 unit, just so that you know. So that helps you actually work out the area with respect to 1 unit. So it's going to be a fraction of a unit of a square. And so what other questions are? What length do we know? Aha, I've just told you, because you did, without me telling you, you wouldn't have known. We know, what lengths do we know? I've just told you, and the others you've got to work out. And then there's another method called the coordinates method, and this is for the upper secondary. What are the equations of the lines? Where do they intersect? So those would be for the upper level learners. For the younger learners, what shapes can you see? What is different about, say, that? What is the name of the shape? How many edges do they have? Prefer to use the word edges. I keep slipping into side. Hi, Samantha. I prefer to use the word edges throughout, even when you're very little. A 3-year-old can say Tyrannosaurus Rex. A 3-year-old can definitely say the word edge. That's an edge, that's an edge, that's an edge, that's an edge. And these here, these are vertices. That's a vertex, that's a vertex, that's a vertex. If you always use that language, then there's no confusion when you start moving into 3D. and this does have a face. It's a 2D shape. This is the face of a 2D shape. It has basically one at the back and one at the front. It's got faces, but we only need to really refer to one. But in 2D world, that's a face, that's an edge, and that's a vertex. No reason whatsoever why a 4 or 5-year-old can't call it that. Okay, hi Salome, it's good to see you. Okay, so and questions for younger learners is simply, what can you see? What's the difference between that and that? What's the same between that and that? They're all triangles. What's the same? Now, what's the difference between this shape and that shape? What's the difference between this shape and identify the square? I think probably cut it out for the younger learners. If you actually make an actual, my scissors are over there, I'm not going to use them, but you actually cut it out so they can hold a square and see a square and feel a square. Do it on cardboard, and then you really have some tactile experience there. Just keep asking questions. And if you don't know the answer, great way to react is, let's find out, and do it together. And that way you're modelling really great. And this goes for any age. Doesn't matter where you are if you don't know it. Great responses. Let's find out. And when you make mistakes, you don't make mistakes. You don't make mistakes. I don't make mistakes. Nobody makes mistakes as long as we're learning from it. So we don't make mistakes. We make magnificent mistakes, and we learn from them. So if you make a mistake, a magnificent mistake, first of all, reframe it's a magnificent mistake, and then you say, what did I learn? What can I do better next time? How can I use what I learned for something else, and be constantly learning? So that's it for today. Now, to go ahead and go and make your activity, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get the geoboard equipment now, which I've got already. I'm going to do another live in just a moment doing the geoboard. So you can do it that way as well. So paper, geoboard, you can draw dots on the piece of paper as well. That's your model for your dots. And please, if you're not in the group, if you share this with people that aren't in the group, so that the idea is this is a group, a resource for people that are home learning, but also, of course, as a teacher, we've now got lots of the teachers from AIMSEC, the alumni. These are teachers that are working in schools across South Africa at the moment mostly, but what they are alumni of AIMSEC that provides professional development for teachers, specifically in maths, for that work in rural and disadvantaged areas in South Africa and other countries. AIMSEC trains teachers in Uganda, in Kenya, in Tanzania, and some other countries in Eastern Africa. And the idea is it wants to be Pan-African. You can only do certain steps at a time. It started in South Africa and it's spreading. And the Aiming High website is where all the resources are. So the link to this resource is in the announcements above. But the Aiming High website is full of really rich, wonderful resources. You can search, you can see what age group they're. Hi, Nomvume, it's good to see you. So these resources have been designed for these teachers that are in remote areas. Now they're called rich mathematical materials, which means that you can see it from different levels. Low threshold, high ceiling, at whatever attainment you're at, you can get in there and have a go. So if you're 5, you can have a go and just identify the triangles, count the triangles. That's another great one. Can you make more triangles by adding lines? And how could you add, even better question, how can you add more triangles? What size are they? Talk about the size and whether they're the same and different, and is it the bigger and the same, or is it a different shape? What shape? What's different about it? All these questions. Now, so the resources on that we use are on the Aiming High website, and then there's the AIMSEC Facebook page, and on that page there are little memes every single day. There's little pictures in a box that just spark an idea, and then those have links to resources on the Aiming High website. But the other thing that we're building slowly, but building momentum on it, is YouTube channels. The links to those are also in the group, in the announcement above. If you have a YouTube account, and you do if you've got a Gmail account, if you could go and visit, there's lots of videos on the Bubbly Maths one. There's Bubbly Maths and there's Maths Toys. The Bubbly Maths is lives like this that I've been doing over the years. If you look back, there's some really goofy ones when I used to actually clown up when I was performing, and then the Maths Toys YouTube channel has got videos that specifically guiding you through doing these wonderful activities that are on the Aiming High website. There's only a few there at the moment. There are a few, and the few that are there are some lovely activities, and I'm tasked to add a couple today, so they'll start building up. And please do, if you subscribe to those, we really actually need just a few more. We only need another 30 or so subscribers on each channel, so that we can change the names so that they're much easier to find. You'll be able to just go to Bubbly Maths or go to Maths Toys, and whereas at the moment they're actually not, you need the link, and the link is in the announcements above. Please do, if you know anybody that's on YouTube, please go and ask them to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. All that happens is that they'll be in your list of channels that you subscribe to, so you'll be able to go easily and go and see, go to your channels that you've subscribed to, and you can find us easily. So thank you. Look forward to seeing you now. I've got another live at 10, where I'll be doing a session on the same basis for early years learners, early 3, 4, 5-year-olds up to 6. It's still enjoyable. It's still an activity. It's still a worthwhile activity for any age, because it's very much art based. It's based on colouring in and drawing shapes and deriving patterns and things, and recognising patterns. And we won't necessarily use the word symmetry. We'll talk about mirrors. Hi Samantha, it's good to see you. So that's at 10, and I'll do another live doing the geoboard today, and at 8 o'clock every night we do a preparation session for the following morning, and that's London time. This is all London time. And at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning I'll do the session. I don't know what it is yet, because Tony lets me know during the afternoon, and then I prepare for it, and then we prepare, send out, do the live. Now on Thursday this week I've got a guest. So in addition to the prep instructions on this, we're going to be talking to a lady that has created this game, Race to Infinity. Now she talks about the game. So the game is something, if you're able to buy it, great. There's a huge amount of value in what she is. Actually, talking to her is a bit like hearing her talk. Is I kind of feel as somebody recorded what I've said and playing it out in a loudspeaker or something, because we're so aligned in how we feel. And she's written a book called Making Maths Fun. so she's going to come and share her thoughts and her insights for adults and teachers in this home learning situation. And of course for young, if you want to listen, hey, you're a young learner, it will be, I think you'll find it super interesting to hear what she has to say. That will be Thursday. And in the meantime, we're looking for more guests. I haven't been focused so much on the guests because I've been so focused on doing the resources. But we'll get to a point where we're doing hopefully a guest every evening, or at least many evenings a week, so that we give you as many insights as possible. So thank you. See you in a few minutes if you want to join us. Thank you. So here you go. Can you send this video link again to watch? The link to this video, it'll go on live. Or what I'll do is it'll be in the group. It'll be just in the group. I will tag you. How about if I tag you in the group, and that way I'll just take if I take a screenshot to make sure I've got that message. Okay, and I'll tag you so that you can find it later in case it ends up hard to find or something. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you to all the AIMSEC alumni. They are such extraordinary people. They put so much in, and they arrive on. There's a 10-day on-site course as part of the courses, And you all arrive and you're so full of enthusiasm and love and wanting to learn from these extraordinary people that come and train on this course. Some of the most exceptional trainers in the world come and help facilitate the learning of mathematics, really help teachers with a skill that is not taught. It's not that widespread yet with teachers all around the world. It's not that the teachers aren't willing and aren't able, it's that the training up until now has not been the right kind of training. When they go to teacher training, they learn how to teach. Specifically, learning how to teach maths is a very specific skill that is something we're still learning about, and something that a lot of teachers don't know yet, but they're learning, and we're hopefully, AIMSEC is certainly part of the process of changing that. So thank you, everybody. See you later. Let's see. Okay, cool. That's what I'll do. I'm thinking machachi. Machachi. I think. I don't know if I've got it right, but it's a beautiful name. Thank you. See you later.